And we are back. Hello, everybody. What's up, guys? I'm Frantic, and I'm here, as always, with my lovely, as awesome co-host.
Grunt, hey,
Yeah,
it's been
welcome
a
to the
long
Frantic.
time.
It's been a while. Welcome to the Frantic Talks podcast, episode 36. We are here to talk about video games
And junk.
and junk. First bit of a few things. We're going to start advertising at the beginning. Hope you're ready
Boom.
for this. Because here we go. If you want to continue any conversation we have on here, hit us up on Twitter. I'm at FranticJ3. He's at Onyx Spartan, ONYX Spartan, all one word. If you want to hit the official Frantic Talks Twitter account, I almost said Trantic Talks. That's bad. Frantic_Talks on Twitter. Facebook.com/Frantic Talks, all one word. You can kind of check out our podcast and articles that we post over there. You can head on over to twitch.tv/FranticJ3 the third, THE, then the number 3RD, because some bastard took Frantic J3. But you can head over there and catch this podcast live every Saturday, usually around 3 p.m. Eastern. We're a little later today, but it happens. If you want to watch the videos that you want to watch the stream, but you can't actually catch it live, you can go to YouTube, search Frantic Talks, or you can go to frantictalks.com, click on a podcast, click on a YouTube video, and boom, you're there. If you subscribe, we can actually give you a URL instead of making you do extra effort to find our videos. It'll be worth it, trust me, because we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
I'm telling you, man, I'm going to make you memorize that one way or the other.
Oh my god, I sent it to... Okay, so... when you guys were streaming the other night, so Grunt and them were streaming the other night, him and Freak Show, our professional podcast guest, he asked me what it was when you were away, and I pasted it into the chat. I shit you not, it's easily 20 plus characters of random numbers and letters, capital and not capital.
Oh my god.
I'm not going to memorize that, but I might put it on a sticky note under like my monitor just so I can read it off really fast.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell people that.
Right?
That way, when I say I'm going to make you memorize it, you can just read it off and
Just like
bam,
rapid fire.
bam, there you go.
I just realized this whole entire time I have No Man's Sky open in the background.
Whoops.
There's our website. All right, anyways, promotion's out of the way. Let's get going here. How was your past couple of weeks? It's actually been about 2 or 3 weeks since we recorded.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. I don't know, it's been pretty busy. I've picked up interest in gaming more. I've been playing a few different games.
Yeah.
Most notably has been NBA Live 16. It's a game. It's a basketball game, hence why NBA's in the title. You know.
I've been seeing you tweet about it and Kevin Durant or something like that.
I'm going to be honest. Pretty much the only reason I really wanted to play the game is I binged on the Olympics back when they were there. Which, by the way, rugby, my new secret indulgent sport.
Mine's soccer, honestly. I've been really digging it whenever it comes on.
Yeah. Rugby, I was really surprised I liked it, but it's like soccer and American football, or European football for true football versus American football. There we go.
That's it, yeah. Hand egg is what they also call our football.
Hand egg, yeah. That works.
Which is funny.
Mashed up together, and you created rugby, which is pretty great.
Right.
So
I've watched a few rugby games. I've caught them on TVs when I've been like in a bar, and it's interesting to watch. I mean, they're no holds barred, beat the shit out of each other in that.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty interesting. I could definitely go for a couple of games of rugby.
But yeah, that's the biggest reason. The Olympics, watching that for the past couple of weeks, was the biggest reason of wanting to play NBA. But I figured, I'll start a dynasty and see if I can, how bad I do. Hopefully I don't run the team I choose into the ground.
Here's open.
What was that?
I said here's open.
Here's hoping, yes. Here's hoping I don't. It's been fun so far. I played 4 games, won all 4 of them. Kevin Durant, and this is pretty much what I've been tweeting about him mostly. I don't know how he makes most of the shots he does in the game. It's inhuman. So it still puzzles me.
Do you know anything about the NBA? Like, do you follow anything beyond like maybe the top name players like LeBron James or anything like that?
I don't follow anything, not even the top players.
Okay. Well, Kevin Durant.
I really don't even have a favorite team, so to speak. So, I know
I don't either.
I know of a few people that like the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's a team I'm using because that's the only team. I kind of get tired of automatically picking Chicago because it's the closest team to me.
I mean, I'd have to pick the Cincinnati teams, and I do not enjoy them. There's no Cincinnati basketball team, so the closest to me would
Cleveland.
be, well, yeah, they'd be either be Cleveland or it would be the Indiana Pacers. I think are actually technically closer to where I live than Cleveland is.
Well,
So I know a little bit about basketball. I don't have a favorite team, but I know Kevin Durant's one of the really big names.
hmm
I imagine if you use the Golden State Warriors, you would have Steph Curry, and you could just literally just sink every three you've ever shot ever.
and that does happen.
Yeah.
That does happen. Our professional podcast guest, Freak Show, has his own dynasty, and from what he's told me about it, he did a fantasy draft, and he has Steph Curry on his team, and he just gets the ball to him every single time. So,
That's
I
funny.
mean, I'm pretty much doing the same thing with Kevin Durant during my dynasty. So,
Did you fantasy draft it, or did you just pick Oklahoma
be,
City?
because I didn't know anything about it, I just went with the current
Oh well,
rosters.
the game's all about just picking top overall players when you're doing fantasy.
Right.
I mean,
So,
sure, it's about building your favorite team, but
I may
details.
I might restart it and try that, or start a separate dynasty that's fantasy draft if I can do that.
Yeah,
But
probably could be able to.
oh yeah, really the other big thing to mention is earlier this week
Hmm.
I downloaded Magic Duels on the Xbox One,
Oh yeah.
and I have to say I see why you're highly addicted to Magic because it's fun. I know nothing about it, but it's a fun game to play. Pretty pretty sure you would laugh at my deck I built, or rather had the game build for me, because it just was here you need to choose lands. Okay, I'll choose this one and then autofill the rest of them, and then you choose your defense cards, I think it was, and then I'll take this one, then autofill the rest of them. Pretty much just went out for there. Um, I'm totally that guy, and I have a deck primarily built around flying creatures. So,
That's not being that guy. That's just being smart.
oh, yay! I believe
So,
I believe you watched my first ever attempt, because I believe Freak
mhm.
Show streamed that too. So,
Yeah, so we keep mentioning Freak Show, and I feel like after I tell you about my week, we should get to him. So let me fill in the blanks of what's going on with me, because most of you might have noticed my background is a little different here. Um,
nope. Actually,
no,
actually, I don't see any background. So,
oh right, yeah, Grunt can't see me, but so you might recall from our last episode, I mentioned I was moving and that the backdrop was going to change. Well, it is still a work in progress. This is a lot of the things that I haven't unpacked that are more recreational, like not necessary to living. Like my bedroom is pretty much set up. I just got a new dresser, and that's just got to be filled with clothing. The living area where I play games and stuff like couch and all that fun stuff where people would enjoy their time hanging out with me, and kitchen and stuff. That's all taken care of. This is kind of like the last place to get taken care of. I set up the computer and everything. That's what I'm on here right now. That's good. It's all fun and good to go. Beyond that, I haven't really gone anywhere. So that's been the process. That's why we haven't recorded in the past couple of weeks. I was working on moving and all this other fun stuff, and surprisingly enough, I've done a lot of things that aren't necessarily moving related in that time. That's been a lot of fun. Uh, Most notably, I mean, this isn't really something I did as much as it was I got this, but I'm gonna lean down here off screen real quick. Okay, I'm back. Uh, you might notice that the headset I'm using is my older headset from the first couple episodes. I was using a Turtle Beach like X11s or something for the past couple episodes, but now I'm back to using this. And very soon I will be using this lovely microphone right here. But I have cords to set up and stuff that are need replaced. Um, this is just one of the things that's changed in the amount of time that it's been. So this will be used for multiple things, including the podcast, another podcast I'm working on for Magic with Luke, which still a work in progress. I've mentioned it a few times, I believe. He and I have had a lot of discussion based around that. I'm going to stop using this as a prop to talk. I'm just like swinging it around on screen. We're setting up for that. I actually recorded an episode of Frantic Works. I hadn't done that in about 2 months due to a lot of things going on with my situation. That's recorded. I'm gonna. Oops, I just hit my keyboard. That's recorded. I'm gonna edit that sometime either this weekend or before Wednesday and actually get it up and finally have another thing going on. But I think what's important to note is the discussions that Grunt and I have been having. And I can tell you about the video games I've been playing, but in reality, all I've played is Rocket League, some Halo or Destiny,
You done
and
playing Bungie?
I've been playing. I don't know why, but I always fucking say that. Uh,
It's because you're not trained in the ways of the Archbishop.
right, yeah. That's exactly what it is. No, I could go on about all the games I've played, but in reality, it's just the same shit, different day. I mean, Rocket League's been fun. I haven't really gotten too much Rocket League time in recently until or in the past until about the past week or so. And then, of course, your amount of Magic cards, where I always have them nearby. By the way, here's a stack of Magic cards. They're on my desk. So I think we should talk before we get into our actual topics. Talk about the future of Frantic Talks because we haven't. We've always talked about the future of things. How we're like going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. Things are finally setting in stone of what we're actually going to do, and we're setting things up to where it's actually going to start happening. Versus we kind of say, oh, we're prospectively going to do this, or we have this idea. I think we've moved past the idea phase. Is the best way to put it, right? Would you agree?
I'd have to agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So we mentioned let's start off with Freak Show. We mentioned Freak Show a lot on this podcast. He's like the third guy that we play games with. You know, you typically have a group of guys you play games with, or a group of girls, or a group of people, whatever. You usually normally play video games with. He's our third guy. So if you were looking at this video version, how I'm on the bottom left and Grunt's on the bottom right, he'd go in the middle if he was actually here. So he would just essentially be another piece of the puzzle. And honestly, I think we're gonna do that. Yeah, he'd be like, no, other side.
He'd go right there. Right there.
There you go. He'd go right there. We're gonna get him involved with a lot of stuff because we mentioned him enough, and he shares a lot of the same views we have and talks about the same shit. So why the hell not? But we're gonna have him in as in a different way, I guess is the best way to put it. He does a lot of speed runs. And so something that I think we've been lacking on our side is more video content than just, an hour-long podcast or however long we end up taking. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to start uploading a lot more videos. Personally, I will be uploading music-related videos. If you remember back in the early days of Frantic Talks, if you've been with us for that long, we did more than just video games. And if you look on the screen right now, you can actually see the categories on the tabs of the website, music, movies, and video games, and Magic the Gathering. We've kind of stopped doing music and movie-related things. We didn't do too much on the movie end to begin with, even before Grunt got here. I think I reviewed a movie or two that I went and saw, and that was basically all I did. The music side, we did Songs of the Week for the longest time there, and then we switched to, or we were doing Songs of the Month and then Week or something like that. We were doing stuff like that. Every now and then I'd review like a concert I went to. Well, what's going to happen is I want to do album reviews and maybe talk about music I'm listening to that week. Hell, maybe even start recording my own music, which if I lean over here, you might be able to see my... yeah, right there, that's an amplifier, which is behind me and you can't normally see it. Just start recording music and stuff. And I was going to start releasing it through the Frantic Talks channel, and that was kind of my plan. And then when I talked to Grunt and Freak Show, we were just like, we could do totally more. So what I think we're going to end up doing is like recording our gameplay, and that's why they were streaming. They were testing out their streams to make sure that they could record gameplay. We could get access to the video, the footage in a timely manner, and be able to say, put it together in a quick, like maybe 5 or 6 minute long video, or however long we plan on doing. We haven't truly discussed the vision of what it will be, but we know that we're going to do it.
Yep.
So all this video content is going to start taking place of the content we haven't found the right way to write it. We have a couple of ideas for articles, but the amount of time it takes to write these things and come up with the ideas, we get something going, and then a week later, we're on to another podcast. So I feel like the more easily accessible media we give to you, like, a quick little video you can watch for 5 minutes, understand everything we need to say, versus an article having to read through it, it's just going to help out with everybody. And I think that's the best end goal. So we might lay off on the articles in the sense, we'll still have them, but overall it'll be more focused on giving you good video content, I guess is the best way to put that. Sometimes it's just easier to enunciate what we're trying to say via just like spoken words or the visuals than it is to type it out. Sometimes I'm like that. I can't figure out how I want to say something,
Oh, right. And a lot of the stuff that we've had, and we've talked about for articles, we can, like right now, a retrospective. I haven't done one of those. I have 2 games in mind I want to do, but I think for some of those games it might be easier to put those thoughts into form with a little gameplay footage to show you, hey,
Yeah.
this is why we like it.
Exactly, and I think that is a good angle to take on it instead of trying to describe in words what you could much easier describe
Right.
via just showing.
Right.
So that's the direction we're going to be heading at this point. It's going to be a lot more media focused, I think, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as we execute it right. And I think, hopefully, most of you listening would agree with that. So that's where we're heading. So I would definitely say Freak Show, the guy who I started this whole conversation about, is pretty much a part of the team now. In at least a sense of he will be giving us speed run videos and maybe even accompanying us on the podcast every now and then, maybe every episode. Who knows what we do? We'll figure it out. But he definitely is a part of it. So I am excited, to say the least.
Indeed.
I might not sound like it, but I am. So that's really been what's happened in the past couple of weeks for me, more so than just playing games and moving into a new apartment. Like, that's a lot of things, of course, but that's the big notion. And we're going to keep up the magic side of the site, doing articles, because those are much that you can type those out, no problem. There's not too much visually that you need to show. Wouldn't really do magic videos or anything, but it's all still going to be there. It's just the way we hand it to you is going to be a little different. So,
indeed, it will be.
So that being said, that was my couple of weeks. Sounds like grunts were a lot of fun. So what happened in those past couple of weeks? Because we weren't here to tell you, and you may have completely just not followed anything. Man, I'm good at segues. All right, so I think we should cover first the Halo update, Anvil's Legacy, which comes out, I believe, next week or the week after.
I have no idea. All I know is it's meant for September.
I think it comes out like the 8th or the 9th, which is roughly... That doesn't seem right. Comes out like... Whatever. It comes out, I think, this Wednesday, but I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that.
Gonna be honest, there's only one day in September I really care about right now in terms of gaming.
Right.
So,
sorry, 2 Wednesdays from now, I'm pretty sure, because we're still in August next Wednesday. Anyways, Anvil's Legacy. I only recently heard about this. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming. There's more content for Forge, most notably, Anvil, but what I'm really fucking excited for, and pardon my French there, is the Hunter Claws. Have you seen this, Grunt?
No. Well, in a way, yes. I don't know actually what they are.
From the pictures I'm seeing, it looks like turrets. Well, detached turrets, essentially.
Yeah.
But
the one picture I saw, it looks like a hunter arm. Someone took a hunter arm and ripped it off.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it's pretty fucking sweet.
But outside of that, I don't know anything more about it.
Yeah, so there's the Wicked Grasp, which is the rare tier, and then Berserker's Claw, which is ultra rare. And from the picture above, I'm going to scroll up really quick, the Spartan that looks a lot like George is pretty much carrying it like a turret. Like when you would rip a turret off of...
Right.
Or just rip a turret off of its hole or whatever. So there's that. There's 2 new maps, and then there's, the Reach armor skins. There's, all legendary skins that will give you pretty much exactly what the characters from Reach had. Emil, June, Kat, and George. No Carter, and no Noble 6.
Poor Carter. Always getting left out.
Poor Carter.
They introduced his armor set, I believe, in the Memories of Reach update anyways, so...
Oh, yeah, wasn't it? Who wasn't in the other one, then?
I
don't remember. Because I remember we said there was only 4, not 5. They were missing somebody. I just don't remember who it was.
I think it was... That's a good question.
Was it George? No, it might have been June.
I don't know.
Either way, they were missing one in the last one, and now they're missing Carter in this one. But all the armor looks really freaking sweet. But the other thing I think is really cool is the new skins. There's Landgrave, which I don't know how to describe it, but the one I don't really care because I like Master Control, which literally looks like they made Tron guns.
Oh my god, yeah.
The skin looks like Tron, and that's amazing, and I want them right now. Well, they also are introducing new attachments called COG sights, I want to say, like an ACOG to all the guns. So that's cool. And then I'm going to get it. If you're looking at our screen right now, if you're watching the stream or watching the video, you can kind of see this new Tactical Magnum, new attachments for the battle rifle. I think is in the DMR called, it's a COG DMR is what it's called or whatever. But here's your Master Control. Looks a lot like Tron essentially on these skins. It's amazing. And then the other thing, they give you Halo 5 Forge says PC requirements, and the PC requirements are actually pretty steep in my opinion. You need 8 gigs of RAM, DirectX 12, and 2 gigabytes of virtual RAM, and 40 gigs. The main thing being DirectX 12, in my opinion, is a little steep because I can't even run that on my computer, mainly because I have older graphics cards, but I can run other really good games, so that seemed pretty crazy. The recommended and then Ultra just keep getting more ridiculous, but I thought that was a little kind on the steep side, but I just could be wrong. It
Right.
might just be because I have older graphics cards.
It's gonna be
Uh,
gonna be interesting because your map creators are going to be able to,
oh
if they
yeah.
really want to, use the precision of like a keyboard and mouse.
Hmm.
Um,
They
so you
can.
might see some cleaner maps, and that on the console itself, Halo 5's Forge mode is really extensive, and it's probably, I'd say, the best Forge in of all the Halo games since it was introduced in Halo 3.
Hmm.
Um, so to see how the community content creators basically take advantage of that is going to be interesting.
Absolutely. I know the multiple times we were using Forge, I just kind of was thinking to myself, I wish I could be using a keyboard mouse right now because I feel like I'd have much better control.
All right.
So that'll be really cool to see where all that goes. And then the only other thing in this update really that's notable is the Halo app. To my knowledge, they didn't have a Waypoint app, and this is what will be the equivalent there. So for your phone and for like Windows 10, it looks like, as well as the screenshots from Windows 10. So
Yeah, because they have the that universal development program thing.
yeah, the Universal Developer Kit or whatever it was actually called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that makes
basically
sense.
any Windows 10 device can run it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so
interesting.
a bunch of cool stuff that's coming in the next 2 weeks to Halo 5. And we're getting close to the 1 year anniversary of the game, I believe, which is, I mean, it's like November, but
It's close. It's only
something to
about 3
note
months
that,
away.
yeah, only a couple months away at this point. I mean, we're almost into September now, so.
Finally.
So Grunt's over here all excited about September. Let's talk about September,
Yeah, yeah.
huh?
Small little month.
What's coming out in September, Grunt?
Nothing. Nothing. Just, Rise of Iron for Destiny.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
You wanna tell me about that?
Well, what do you want to know? First of all,
Well, is it let's see. I hear that they're going to be making some changes to the game. We might have talked about them before, but you want to refresh my memory? Maybe talk a bit about like the campaign or something.
well, yeah, a little bit. I mean, campaign. How about this? Um, Custom games are coming to Destiny.
That's much cooler than a campaign.
So yeah, if you want to go in there and play a light level enabled match on one of the new maps or one of the older ones or any map in the game, then yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you want to go test
Wanna,
out your new gun?
yeah, exactly. Want to 1v1 me, bro?
Now, have they revealed if this is going to be tweakable, like Halo tweakable?
Um,
Change weapon settings or anything like that, or change game settings?
so far from what we've seen from their
Mm-hmm.
reveal streams and other various media outlets, um, really the only thing you'll be able to choose is some pretty simple stuff. Nothing on the scale of Halo's customization, but if you want to
Right.
change like the score limit, you can
Mm-hmm.
mess with that. If you want to change the time limit of the game, you can do that. Um, some maps that are larger allow for vehicles. You can either turn those on or off.
Nice.
If it's an outdoor map and it has several versions of it for different like times of day, you can change that. Like Widow's Court, it has several different times of day on it, so you can go and change it. Maybe you want to play Widow's Court at night and use snipers only. You can kind of do that. You just have to hope everyone plays by an honor rule of using snipers only.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's pretty straightforward stuff. It's nothing on the scale of like, oh, I can make heavy ammo spawn sooner or not at all. So,
Gotcha. All right, now I'm gonna have to pause you here
oh,
because Skype froze on me here on you, and it will not get you to come back up. We've had this problem before. It's kind of annoying.
awkward.
It's not letting you come back. Oh my god, I hate when it does this shit. Like, why does this happen?
Awkward.
Okay, well, Spin's going to have some editing to do, but anyone watching live, we will be right back. I'm going to have to restart the stream. And we have returned. Sorry about that, everybody. We are having issues with my software not being able to, for some reason, find Grunt's face. So that's
It just doesn't like me.
It clearly doesn't. But the good news is you can now see me while we talk. So
hey.
Hey.
I mean, I guess that's an upside.
Yeah, that is an upside. I guess technically I could use my new microphone now, but we're not going to do that. All right. Anyways, we're going to continue to stream what we're looking at on screen. By the way. To continue this podcast. Hopefully for future podcasts we can get this resolved. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. Custom game sounds like going to be pretty sweet. We don't know the extent of customability or customization per se. It seems like it's going to be pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, it does. It will allow for a whole plethora of tournaments and that stuff. I mean, even Game Battles, the sister site to MLG, has already picked up and wanted to do a Destiny tournament. There are all kinds of large name streamers out there that want to do tournaments and that stuff. So it's going to be very cool, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. It's upsetting it took them this long to get it, but yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. So other things in this update, they kind of just go over some stuff that's in the Bungie store.
PAX.
All kinds of crazy cool stuff. Yeah.
West is this weekend, so they're going to be there showing off custom games. I think was their focus.
Yeah. And then from there, they have a mention of the Bungie Foundation. 100% of 2016 Bungie store profits will benefit the Bungie Foundation. And then the only other thing is some cool fan art, but I wanted to recommend... I wanted to mention Trials of Osiris. Legacy consoles, so your Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. This is the current weekend, right now is your last weekend to do Trials of Osiris. And then you will no longer be able to do it. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, however, you will get it next weekend, and then will not be back until after the Rise of Iron has come out, and it will come September 30th, which is 10 days after the Rise of Iron.
Yep.
If my math serves me correctly.
Your math serves you correctly.
Yeah. So the Tuesday it comes out, you won't have any trials that weekend, but it'll be the weekend afterwards. Good luck out there. Only other thing I want to mention from this is the community spotlight area. All 3 videos they have this week are really cool. There's a Fallen Saber drum cover, which was pretty cool. Just listen to that. But the Universal Remote Montage and Move Your Feet Destiny Dance-Tage are both really wonderful, and I found myself laughing the entire time. So yeah.
Yeah, I should really watch those. I don't watch them because I normally forget about them, but I really should.
Yeah, I normally don't watch them either, but what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so 2 more things to talk about here before we, the last one's kind of a little bit of a discussion more than it is just news. But Pokemon Go, I'm actually wearing a Pokemon shirt. You can't actually see it anymore, but it was on screen beforehand if you rewind. This isn't even the fucking headline. Pokemon Go has lost a lot of traction, is the best way to put it. Their peak numbers were around 25 million active users. I think they are below 10 million now, which is a very large number to drop off to. And there's really, I understand why. I haven't played it too often recently. Really, it's due to the time that I've been doing everything that's in my background essentially right now. But what it really is there's bugs in the games and things that they've been removing and tweaking that people aren't too happy about, mainly the tracking system.
Right.
If you aren't aware of what it was in the beginning, and you might have heard this before, but basically the tracking system, when you could look at like Pokemon that were nearby, there was this thing that was nearby, you click it, and it would show Pokemon. And then there were little footprints under them. There was 1, 2, or 3 footprints, or no footprints. No footprints meant you were basically on top of it, you should be able to click it. 1 footprint, is a little distance away, 2 and 3. There was no real distance per se, like we didn't know how many feet or meters or however many it was. We just knew that they were far away if they were at 3, or 1, they were very close. And if you started walking in one direction and the feet, went from 3 to 2, you were going the right way. Well, when they released it worldwide, like they added like 20 countries in one day, that tracking system screwed up. and it showed everything at 3 feet away, no matter their distance. It would show Pokemon that weren't even nearby. It was causing all these issues. Now, I don't personally know what caused that, beyond the fact that it happened when they launched it worldwide, like truly worldwide. So they removed the tracking system completely by just removing all the little feet and made it to where you could just see things that were nearby. So you could kind of judge when you were getting close to something, but it didn't really work too well. And a lot of people were really upset about that. That was the first time they lost a big amount of users, is because people put money into the game, got upset that they paid money into this game that they thought worked one way, now it works another, got a bunch of refunds, and it was kind of but then they added this new tracking system that allows you to kind of like shows them nearby, and it adds like a little bit of aesthetic features, and then they were like A/B testing essentially. Like some people got it, some people didn't. This like feature where it would say a Pokemon was near a Pokestop, which is one of the check-ins in the game, which was kind of cool in theory. I don't know if they ever debuted it. I haven't necessarily seen it in the game since the last time I played.
Right.
So this tracking system still doesn't work as much as it used to, and that's everyone's biggest complaint. Now, there are other things. There are some bugs in the game that still haven't been fixed. There's Pokemon will like run away way too often, or they're much harder to catch now. Like when I've noticed it a lot where I jump into a battle with a Pokemon, and when I go to throw my Pokeball, it's already attacking me. If you don't know how attacking works, they can like do this like little animation that doesn't let them get caught when you throw the ball at them. So like they can attack you for a couple of seconds, and then it's like, okay, gotta wait to throw the ball. And sometimes they can jump up and down to kind of dodge it. Well, it didn't used to be too bad until the update where they added this new tracking system. Seems like they do it constantly. Like every time, there was one point where I threw 5 balls in a row, and every time I threw it, it attacked me, and that's just not cool.
Oh no.
So, and to add on to all of that, once you hit around level 20, which is right where I'm at, the game goes from being this game of discovery and finding Pokemon to the most ridiculous grind I've ever faced ever. And I've played RuneScape, and it's just as bad to get to the highest level at that point. You go from finding all these neat Pokemon and finding all these new places and stuff to, okay, now I have 200 Pidgeys, let me evolve them really quick to get halfway through my level, which is just ridiculous.
Right.
And that's another big complaint, is now everybody's starting to get closer to your max level, or at least towards the later levels, and it's just a long grind of barely getting any experience. And I think that's where they might have miscalculated how these Pokemon work. Instead of making the game to where it was a lot more like Pokemon where you battle with each other, instead making it a collection game and evolving based on how many you collect, I mean, both sound good in theory. It's just the way they executed it. It's like you hit level 20, and you're like 0.1% of the way to level 40, which is the max level, which is nuts, if you ask me. And I think that's why I've kind of deterred myself. I haven't played it nearly as much since from when I started, because when I started, I leveled up pretty quick, found a bunch of new Pokemon, was finding all kinds of cool things. Now it's to the point where like I got to run around to try to find that one Pokemon I don't have yet, and grind and grind and grind, basically.
Right.
Which yeah, it's not as much fun. So I think that, and that's what this headline of this article on Fortune.com is saying, is there's not much game there beyond the whole collection aspect, and to get to the max level and get to your, I mean, there's no real in-game content. To get going to the final parts of the game and catch all the Pokemon, it's just a long-ass grind.
Right.
And not many people like that. I mean, there are certain people who can grind through games, certainly. I'm not one of them, though. Beyond RuneScape, because for some reason I can actually grind through like 2 hours of mining on RuneScape, but, you know, whatever. I'm weird, but for someone who can handle a grind every now and then, especially on something I love as much as Pokemon, you know, I have a shirt for it. I'm showing Grunt right now because he's the only person looking at me, but I have a shirt for it for a reason. So it's unfortunate. I really liked this game. I really wanted it to succeed, and you know, it was helping me run around getting exercise. You know, I started to bulk back up after I stopped playing it. Well, not stopped, but haven't played it in a while. So,
so it'll be interesting to see if they add. I know I don't know whether or not they have solid plans to add more Pokemon in the future, but it'll be.
They've announced that they will. I want to say closer to like October or November, they'll add the second gen, from what I understand.
Right. It'll be interesting to see if when they do that, if the popularity, obviously the popularity of it will go back up again, because everyone, you know, they want that sense of discovery. They want to go out there and, you know, catch all the new ones. but it will be interesting to see how far it goes back up. You know, are you going to see numbers similar to what you saw when the game first came out, or is it going to be like half of that, or what? You know?
Right. Yeah, and I'm not too sure about that. I think it'll be like a good amount of numbers that come from it when they update it with new Pokemon, but I don't think it'll ever retain as many as it did initially, and I don't think even with the updates that they'll be able to. I mean, 10 million is a large number, but I
Oh yeah.
feel like they won't even be at that point. They'll give an update out. They'll definitely break a 10 million threshold. I imagine 15. Oh,
Just kick the table. My microphone is sitting on. No big deal.
good job. I imagine it'll be around 15 million people, maybe 20 on a good day, coming back to check out the new Pokemon. Then it'll dip down to the 5 or whatever it will be once the dust settles and they finally fix all the bugs.
Right.
So
Yeah. I don't. I think the unless they overhaul it big time, I don't think I have to agree with you. I don't think the retention for the game is there now.
no, that's
So,
unfortunate. Like I said, I really wanted it to do well.
oh yeah,
I think everybody did, beyond the people who for some reason didn't like it, like just hated it for no reason. But
it's because they're Team Valor, or whatever the yellow team is.
instinct,
Instinct.
right?
See, I don't even know. I can't get the couldn't get the darn thing to work. It said there wasn't anything nearby me, but I found out, and I don't know if it was in that 2 week time period when we weren't doing this, but I found out that I live across the street from a Pokestop,
hmm
and down the street is a park. There was also another one. So
I live
how
right next
disappointing.
to. I now live right next to a museum, which apparently is a nest of a few different things, and there's a couple of different stops over there, so that's pretty cool.
Uh,
So that's pretty neat. But I don't have a very good signal right now in this area, so I can't really play it in my
I,
apartment. So
I heard.
unfortunate. But anyways, okay. So beyond that, I only have one other story, and it's another story of colossal letdown, essentially. And you might know where I'm heading with this, but it is the
I do.
lovely game of space exploration known as No Man's Sky.
No man's
And
letdown.
I was going to say, let's rename it to, what was I going to say?
Please
No
don't.
Man's. Uh, I was going to make a joke, and then you said No Man's Letdown. You messed me up.
Whoops.
I was going to say something like No Man's Around or something like that, or No Man's Land. That's what I was going to say, because there's nobody fucking playing it anymore. That was the
Yeah.
joke. Well, okay, so that's a lie, but the numbers I saw reportedly, and this was for Steam users, was within the launch date and then like sometime early last week. 88% of players of Day 1 No Man's Sky have all stopped playing.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
That's worse than Pokemon Go losing from 25 million down to below 10.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. And this
Hold on, let
game,
me do the math while Grunt talks really quick.
this oh god, this game was so hyped up. You know, and a lot of people just they were very excited for it because of that hype. And it came out and people played it and they were just disappointed to it. A lot of people I follow that bought the game, they were disappointed for the fact that you have this huge, expansive universe you can explore. Not even the developers know for sure how many planets and destinations are in it,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you can't actually play with anyone or find anyone.
Exactly. And
Even
the other thing is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
even if you are talking to someone that you want to meet up with and you sync everything correctly to where you're at the same destination at the same time, you still can't find them.
Yeah, exactly. And what's even crazier is so to give you the numbers really quick, assuming No Man's Sky started with 25 million players on day one. I don't even remember when this game came out, but it was definitely like 2 weeks ago, maybe. In
Uh,
that time, it was coming out around the time we did the last podcast, so it hasn't been long.
yeah, I think it
But in
was
that
the week
time,
of our llast podcast, so
yeah, that's what I think.
we're
So
done
in
like
that
the first of
time,
this month.
what is it, like 20 days at most, they they went from, and if assuming this was Pokemon Go numbers, just to put into perspective of what we were just talking about, from 25 million. Do you want to put in a guess on what the number is, Grant?
I a lot.
Down to 3 million. But that is not nearly how many people played this initially. It's probably a couple million played at first, and now they're down to a couple 100,000 at most. On
Right.
Steam, that is.
That's
And that's in less of a time than Pokemon Go has existed. So to say that this is worse than Pokemon Go is almost an understatement in terms of just player
teaching.
retention. Yeah, I was trying to say retending players, but that didn't make any sense. Like rethink what I was saying. That's just insane to me. And the real problem, I think, is what it is from what I've seen, is that the in-game content itself. Yeah, sure, they generated like 7 quintillion planets, or however many they actually generate in this game, but all of them are just the damn same. One of the YouTubers I follow reviewed the game in one of his series. He has a couple different review series, and in his, he was like, "Yeah, this game's beautiful, vast, open, and awesome, and amazing to watch and play in." But after about 11 hours into the game, I'm already bored of it because it's literally just go to another place, salvage some parts, find some new species that try to attack you or don't, and that's the game.
Right. And for a lot of people, I think I even said it back when we first talked about No Man's Sky when on one of our last episodes. For a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, be that's what was going to make or break the game. How much are they going to
Mm-hmm.
stick with it? Are they going to get bored of it quickly? And are they going to stick with it, or what? And it sounds like they got bored quickly of it.
Exactly, which is unfortunate, but I think this could lead into a discussion where we aren't going to have time to talk about it today. We're getting crunching on time here. Um, we've talked about it. Crunch. We've talked about it before and said it before, but overhyping games. Oh my god. It's contagious at this point, and this is one of the most overhyped games. And a lot of the arguments I've seen on subreddits, like the gaming subreddit or Games, is one where they discuss it, and the Steam subreddit where I saw those numbers. Basically, everyone's like, "Yeah, but they made money off of it, so they don't care." I don't think that's necessarily true, especially the team that worked on this. I don't remember his name, but one of the guys on the team that made this game is somebody who wouldn't just make a game to sell it and then not care about it.
Right.
I don't imagine that was the heart that went into this game. The amount of hype that went into this game, and I mean, to be able to do this and say you did this, you would at least want it to be good beyond the fact that you did it, right? Like
Oh yeah.
if I was making this game, I would want to be able to say that 3 years later we still have a couple million people playing it because of how vast and exploring it is. Like still people haven't found everything in it to this day, and everything's so unique that they keep looking. But instead, now it's reduced to, well, we made this game
People hate it.
with a bunch of planets, and apparently the planets are boring. Apparently, the planets are just leftover spore characters that people forgot to go take care of,
Oh wow.
essentially. So it's just like, it's unfortunate, because this game, it's one of the most hyped games ever from what I've seen.
Oh yeah.
It's and people paid money for it. They make the money off of it, but I don't know. If it was me, my pride wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be saying, yeah, I made No Man's Sky. I'd be like, yeah, I've made a couple of games. They've been not too bad. One of them was No Man's Sky, but we kind of messed it up or something like that. I wouldn't be proud to say I made this and made money off of it. So you gotta wonder if the dignity is there for them or not. And I don't think that's a valid argument, truly, to just say, oh, well, they made money off of it. It's like, well, most games you sell that have enough hype around it are gonna make money. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
matter of the reception of it,
Look at Call of Duty. Year in, year
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, look at Call of Duty. I wouldn't be proud to say I worked on the team that made a Call of Duty game. I just wouldn't. So, I don't know. Well, the clock's going off in the background. Sounds like it's about time to wrap this. your,
Whoops.
your microphone picked that up, and I ran
This
with
thing
it.
is
Sensitive.
too good.
Either way, I think it is time to wrap it up because I don't know my actual running time at this point since we're on part 2 of the video or the recording. We're sitting at roughly almost 20 minutes, and the other one was past 20 at that point, so I think we're about done.
I would say so. That'd be good enough.
Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so I'm going to promote again just to make sure you know where you can find us. I'm at Frantic J3. He's at Onyx Spartan, ONYX, at Frantic_Talks. That's our Twitter accounts. Frantic Talks on Facebook. Just Frantic Talks, facebook.com/Frantic Talks. I'm just going to keep saying Frantic Talks so this doesn't sound like a fucking phrase. Who's texting? Go away. After that, you can head to twitch.tv/FranticJ3 the third. THE 3RD. Some asshole took Frantic J3.
Exactly.
Never going to get over that. But You can go there and watch us every Saturday at usually 3 p.m. Eastern. Beyond that, you can check out our videos on YouTube, which will hopefully be more than just these podcasts. It's going to be fun. Just search Frantic Talks on YouTube or go to our podcasts on frantictalks.com. Click on a podcast. The video is normally at the bottom, and you can get to our channel that way. If we get 100 subscribers, I can just give you a URL, but instead I'm reduced to this ridiculously long URL that no one ever wants to hear. Beyond that,
That's not true.
I mean, I'm going to go look it up really quick while I'm talking, just so I can read it off to you in its entire absurdity because of how stupid this fucking thing is. Beyond that, you can find us on iTunes. It is just search Frantic Talks. We should be the only ones there.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
Yeah, just search Frantic Talks. You'll fucking find us everywhere.
Exactly.
In fact, I don't think there's anything else beyond that. But here, are you ready for this URL, by the way?
I'm totally ready.
Get your pen and pencil, kids, because now we're going to get the Frantic Talks URL. YouTube.com/channel/ capital U, capital C, the number 5, capital F, lowercase l, lowercase o, uppercase R, lowercase v, lowercase d, lowercase o, uppercase z, lowercase y, lowercase u, uppercase R, uppercase h, lowercase k, uppercase R, uppercase x, lowercase b, lowercase p, 74kw. Did you get that? Hang on, let me do that one more time. I'm not going to do it one more time. But that's why I don't memorize it.
I'm telling you, you need a notepad or a sticky note right on the bottom of your screen.
I'm not going to go shouting all that at people every time. It's like, find us on youtube.com/channel/uppercase. That's not going to happen. Stop texting me. God. All right, I think that's about it for us. Oh, magic.frantictalks.com. By the way, you can read about Magic the Gathering. Grunt, since you're now getting into it through Magic Duels, you might want to go check out some of my tips and tricks.
I'm going to need them. I'm going to need them.
Oh, jeez. Okay, guys. Next weekend we should be recording, but there's a chance we might not. I don't know if we're going to say why, but just be aware we might not record next Saturday. Might do it Sunday. Might not do it at all. It's up in the air at this point.
It will be.
But we'll keep you posted. Follow Frantic_Talks on Twitter, and we will definitely let you know. Even though we didn't let you know these past 2 weeks, we'd be on a hiatus, assuming you just followed us and listened.
Whoops.
Either way. I think that about sums it up. All right, guys. I'm Frantic.
I'm Grunt.
We'll see you next time.
No wave. I can't wave because you can't see me.
I was just going to give a quick pause of silence just to act like you were waving.